The city of Shanghai, host to the Intel Extreme Masters 2018 here. And, well, so far it has been a rough ride for some teams, but not as rough as the next ride that I'm going to tell you about. Roughly an 8,000-kilometer journey spanning about 5,000 miles, of course, breaks down to 166 hours over the course of 69 days, which would land Virtus.pro on October 10th. Should they leave today and be eliminated by 5Power. That is the words and the sentiment that we got from Pasha, and you could tell from there, Bialy is not about that life.
Definitely not a fan of exercise in that sense, or not that extreme of it, at least.
I don't know if that's exercise at that point, but that is truly the amazing race. Like, you know what? Hey, we really got to live. So first one to probably be eaten would be, I'd say...
It's first in, first out, right? Morales, you're just done for.
Morals really got to... acclimate you here. Got to figure this one out. Either way, yes, they were, just stayed alive there at the end of the game by Bialy Molotov. But ultimately, did we see any glimpses here that we were really kind of taken away from?
I think this sums up the VP in the entirety. I think this sums up them at every single tournament. We see glimpses that, VP is here to play. Oh, they do well. Pasha having a good half. All of a sudden, was it Bialy having a glimpses of his old-fashioned again, both dropping 20 frags first half, and all of a sudden they just stopped to play. They stopped to function, and they look like a bunch of noobs to be
it's true. I mean, I think Chad mentioned it as well, during the game, and Matt as well, the fact that it just looked sloppy. It's just like careless eventually. Like, sure, you've got, 7-8 rounds to play with. You've got quite a bit of a cushion to work with, but they just don't do things. Everything they do is half-hearted, like half-assed, pretty much. They just go about, it's like, oh, I threw an 8 here. It's like, all right, cool, and then just like bail out.
Well, there's that sort of weird mentality, and I think some teams, not necessarily Virtus.pro, but they might have fallen victim to this, where you have like a 13-2 showing, you have a 12-3 half or something, and you kind of get to match point, you're like, this round's going to happen. It's going to happen eventually. It's going to happen by accident, or it's just going to fall in our lap. But that one, by the hair of Bialy's chinny chin chin, did they stay alive.
VP's just not in a position to have that mentality. They should go into every single round thinking to themselves, we need to win this, we need to win the next, and we need to win this game 16-0. Because they tried to be 16-0 themselves, and that doesn't feel good, Can they do that to other teams? That would be a great thing.
That's what you want to play, right?
It's something you want to play. I just think it's an... I don't know what it comes down to. Is it lack of practice? Is it the mentality? I'm lost for words, because we stand here every single weekend. We talk about VP. Maybe they come back. We have seen them before winning majors. We've seen them before competing at the highest level, and we see glimpses of it right here in the first half. Pasha having a great showing. So does Bialy. The other guys also stepping up, but then all of a sudden they switch side, and again they look like players who haven't played the game in quite some time, and it doesn't make any sense.
I think it might be actually a sense of this is old I guess memories flushing up for them. The fact that when they get into a dominant start. Usually, when they were at their dominance, teams would just topple over. Like, they've gone down 13-2 versus Virtus.pro. You're done. You're not winning that game. You're not coming back into it. Maybe you get pissed around, and that's it. That's game over. You can focus on the next one. But instead...
That's just insanity.
That is... Well, it's luck.
It's insanity
luck.
That it came down to that one defining moment to capitulate what the match is just saved by a brim of fire, one might even say.
Yeah.
But a rough one there. Obviously, they can maybe step back from front and like, look, guys, got a little close for comfort. Maybe a little more squeakier than we thought it was going to be. And the sweat is pouring now. So, I mean, they do have that sort of cushion going into the second map.
They do. But, again, I said before we got into the first map that I thought Inferno was going to be pretty indicative of what we were to see, like, for the series in total. And I wasn't too impressed by VP, obviously, like with how this panned out. I don't think they can go into Cash feeling extremely confident about how things panned out, even though they had a great start. Because it's all about how you close out the game, what kind of mark you put on that first map, and that was not an impressive... It was more of a stain than anything else, really, that VP came out of it from.
And, well, that was 5Power's map choosing as well. So now we do go to a VP map choice. Should give them just a little bit more of an edge going into it, but ultimately they have to start just as strong and actually perhaps finish it off just as strong as well. I think that would be exactly what has to happen going forward. But perhaps, is there any sort of silver linings here for 5Power?
Well, I mean, again, Cash is not one of their most preferred maps. So, if you look at map statistics and everything, it doesn't bode too well for them. But what they have going for them is that leading up to this, qualifying for the event, they actually took out Vici Gaming on Cash. 2 games against them in the qualifiers, lost one time, 16-14, but then beat them in overtime in the decisive game, right? So that has to instill some confidence in you, that the fact that you've been able to topple one of the big dogs in Asia on a map that it's not uncommonly played, within this region either. So they could definitely fight with it. And again, if we see a similar style to their aggressive approach to it as we saw on their CT side now versus VP, that is also something that you can lend yourself to on cash. We saw that with Hellraisers versus VP, and that's something that messed up VP's T side pretty significantly. So again, if you're able to make VP uncomfortable, that might be all it takes.
Yeah, and I think the thing VP got going for them is the fact that they win the pistol round right now. They didn't do that against Hellraisers yesterday, and that's why they lost 16-12. As Pesci said in his interview, they got 12 rounds without any pistol rounds. So that was actually, I wouldn't say impressive, but that was all right by VP yesterday. Whereas today they're winning the pistol round. So if they do the same thing now, there should be no doubt that VP is going to win this one. I just want to see VP play well. I want to see them win 16-2, 16-3, so I can stand here later today and believe that they can go up against Hellraisers in a decent fight. Because if VP is going to do this all over again, get off to a good start and then crumble, like the Hellraisers is just going to mess all over them.
Well, yeah, you definitely don't want to get messed on. So obviously there's been a little bit of a PC issue. It should be being fixed here any moment. We are on a momentary basis. But, you talk about Virtus.pro being one of those teams that you want to see flourish and thrive and do well, sort of like an MIBR. And perhaps we could talk about that for just a second, too. I mean, hell, they just announced Yanko Paunovic.
We lost a man.
He's now coaching MIBR.
Well, what does that say when player rosters and team changes and whatnot become so extreme that they just start grabbing desk talent? They're just grabbing people everywhere.
I think out of the people that are qualified to do it, Yanko is a guy that could definitely bring that to the table. And I think he also has this, I tweeted at him earlier and I said, yeah, hey, you have a stern approach to how you approach things. And I think that has a necessary place within some coaching environments and some coaching atmospheres. Now, the real question mark will be, does MIBR take that? And are they able to run with it? Are all of the guys on that team able to rally around that one center focal point? And is it Yanko?
I think he's so respected within the world of Counter-Strike that they have to be. And I also think that MIBR brought him in as the coach of the team. Sort of like you see in Astralis with Sonic, where it's basically Sonic pulling the strings in terms of roster moves and all that kind of stuff. So if they get that responsibility to Yanko, I think he's going to be man for it. And as you said, he has the personality, he has the very strict way of doing his things, and he requires a lot of his people around him. Working with him, he requires you to be on his game so he can be on his game. And I think he's going to require the same of the MIB players. So I think overall it's going to be a great pickup, and I think Yanko is suited for that one. Also, it tells quite a story that normally we're pretty hated by the players. We often say stuff that they don't like to hear. Honestly, that's how it is. But if they like Yanko that much, to respect him and his opinion that much, I think that's always now is a tell that they respect him enough to actually listen to what he's saying.
Yeah, and if anything, we know that obviously Fallen and Yanko gets along pretty well. They love talking about Counter-Strike together, and I think also if it were to be a tough challenge for Yanko, for instance, to get Fur or Cold or something on board, at least we know that they're able to follow whatever Fallen believes in. And if Fallen's going to be able to listen to what Yanko has to say, and if they're able to cooperate perfectly, I think everyone's going to fall into place with that. And I do think they have gotten the perfect man in that sense for it, in terms of just what kind of mind he has for Counter-Strike, the ideas he has around it. Obviously, everything he knows about Counter-Strike and what he wants to talk about and what kind of ideas he has isn't necessarily showcased on a desk, because it's not necessarily suited for what the topics are.
Now,
so I think that's going to be surprising a lot of people, actually, as to what Yanko can bring to a team like MIBR.
A little bit further on a backstory here, Yanko. I know he's a huge fan of American football and American sports. So, having been to numerous events with Yanko and having watched him watch these things, I would love to see how that can translate in some of the knowledge that he's gained and watching the insider stuff that goes on within the NFLs, within the MLB, or maybe not MLBs, but NBAs.
I thought you were going to take the approach that Moses had, whether or not he's going to go the Belichick route. Because obviously Yanko's is a well-dressed man. He shows up in suits and has a swagger to him. But if he's going to do that, or if it's going to be sweatpants and
I think what
hoodies.
I think what he needs is like a houndstooth hat like Bear
Oh,
Bryant.
yeah.
I think
that would be a good look for Yanko.
You know, that could be hashtag new Bear Bryant would be for you, Yanko. I'm sure you would appreciate that one.
It's actually a fun discussion because I want to see that from Yanko. I want to see him yell at his players. I want to see him get fired up, you know, and take their responsibilities. Because when you talk about players, and especially some of the players on MIBR, without being disrespectful, there's some divas, some of them, you know, they need to be talked to in a very firm way. And Yanko needs to do that. He needs to be able to stand up and yell for himself, or at least raise his voice and make it very
he hasn't
clear
had any
what
problems
he needs,
doing that in the past.
No,
so.
he doesn't have a problem doing that. But then again, like it's different doing that to us, you know, compared to doing to some of the players that he also respects a lot for what they're capable of doing on a server, something that he was never able to accomplish himself as a player, right? So there's a little bit of difference and a little bit of distance in that relationship, but I do think, as said, you know, Yanko is the man for it, and I think he has the firm voice and the firm grip around the Counter-Strike scene in order to do it, basically.
Yeah, I'm actually just really happy to see Yanko, because obviously there's going to be a ton of doubters around it, because Yanko's gone kind of a different route. He hasn't gone from being an ex-player directly to being a coach. Obviously, he's had a lengthy stay as a desk talent, right? So I'm
an observer. We can't forget the observing
Yeah, exactly.
and observations that he's taken. Now, I hate to cut you off, Halvor, but the reality is that is not the matchup. MIBR not here in Shanghai, and MIBR, MIS made in Serbia, MIT made in Turkey, made in California.
Made everywhere.
Either way, it doesn't matter. We're talking about Virtus.pro. We're talking about 5Power when we're just about ready to get in the game. Guys, we're going to see a different result going into the second map.
We're going to see VP tear 5Power up now. We're going to see VP showcase a level that can make us believe they can go up against Hellraiser later on today.
We're going to see VP win. That's all I'm going to go with. I'm not convinced that we're going to see a dominant performance. But they'll win.
From VP. Dominance.
But yeah, no, I mean, they kind of have to. Well, I mean, I think one thing I will say, though, that I'd rather see VP eke out a win when they're starting off on a wrong foot. If they get behind, you know, 10-5, lose pistol, that kind of stuff, and then work their way back, I'd much rather have that kind of result and that kind of game out of them instead of them coming up to with like Inferno with a big lead and then barely eking out a victory at the tail end. Because I think that shows more resilience. That tells you more about what kind of state the team is in as of right now, because that shows that they don't necessarily give up at any given time.
Any given time. Well, it is almost that given time, and it is about time to get into this matchup. Let me get a forehead for Virtus.pro and a lull for 5Power if you're in the chat with us today, because the only two lulling this one out are going to be Sadakis and Sponge. Take it away, boys.
Thank you very much. We will take it away. I wish we could have taken it away sooner, because that means we would have gotten into the action much more quickly. It's 5Power versus Virtus.pro. Virtus.pro up 1-0. This is, as they mentioned, Virtus.pro's map choice.
I expect VP to be able to take this, but the problem isn't can they win this game, it's can they topple Hellraisers later in the day. Now, it's going to be an A attack relatively quickly. Smoke will come out to abscond vision from the truck, and the site will be overwhelmed by the Glocks. Look for the utility to flash players off the line, and Mihu will find the opening kill. Bomb will go down, and now it is a 4-on-5 A retake with Cabal on a smoke and kit.
Cabal with a smoke and a pancake. Trying to find the shot toward the open squeaky door. It is indeed open, but no opportunity through it because they've already worked inside of the sight bomb. Clearly already ticking. Dabu, very weak. Has to wait for his teammates to get in position. We saw Saosage. We still do in the X-ray. Trying to get behind them, but he's taking a sweet time about it. So good find for Bialy, but it's still going to be the shot finally. He does get there. In favor of Virtus.pro, I take it all back. Look at QKA. It's on the Morals. They have done this.
Excuse me?
Oh, I say they've done this. Yes, they have a kit.
They have it.
That's incredible.
How did VP let that fall apart? That's... all right.
Chad's having a breakdown. This is what happens to Henry sometimes, too. He can't believe his eyes. He says, what a blunder, and then he just goes into some rant.
Okay, well, I don't understand. I think they felt that they had the round bagged, and that's why they were all being relatively aggressive with the picks. The plant was also not ideal. It was close to the default position. You want to plant wide so it can be defended from a main. However, that's in the past. Let's look forward to the present. As Deagles and the Force Bite will come in, and Neo with the Deagle. As the smoke blooms, going to take down QKA, give an early number advantage, which they did have on the pistol round, but this time on the Force Bite. Pasha with the Scout over the top, over the boost. We'll get a kill of his own, and now it is a 3-on-5 situation with B-split potential looking well and truly on the cards. Pasha extending up highway with the Scout will go down and continuing to fight one at a time, our VP. They now know where Sage is with this M4, but still dropping like flies. The echoing pistol upgraded VP is being picked apart, regardless of their good start.
Unbelievable, though. I mean, if they pull this back, fair play, but they won both pistols in the last game, barely pulled it off. They lost both pistols yesterday, got crumbled in the second half. Here, they've already given one up that ultimately shouldn't have gone against them.
Well, this is interesting, Matt. I don't know if you noticed what I noticed when we went to go stuff our faces full of ice cream and continue.
Strawberry banana.
I went with the caramel.
Carry on.
Hold on, let's see if this 1v3 is possible, because he has grabbed the first. He does have a
The HP to make it work. Good isolation of Morals, but Bialy gets the deagle in position.
So they were all sitting in the I guess it's the catering area around a table, and Cuban wasn't the man doing the talking, nor was Neo. It was another figure who I haven't seen before.
It was Morals.
No, it wasn't. It was a guy on a laptop who I assume is the analyst that I didn't know they had.
I'll have to go look. It might be someone. It wasn't Roman.
I don't know.
He's
speaking
more
Polish.
managed.
He was speaking Polish, and he was saying the only thing I could pick up, because I don't speak Polish, was the player names. And he was talking about the players on the 5Power team, and basically talking about, I assume, tendencies. But VP are going to go relatively aggressive towards middle, getting the boost up quickly. The force buy in return from 5Power is going to open up with the CZs. We've already talked about how deadly they were with them yesterday. They're going to continue here on Cash, or Cash.
Cash money millionaires, baby.
Cabal is going to be able to pick up that AK without any issue. That's going to bolster their weaponry and give them a chance in this round. As we have seen VP really flounder in these kind of positions. They struggle in these mid-rounds. They just get swarmed upon. They don't make a decisive decision. This time it appears they want to lean B.
I like how Neo checked that corner, but quick switched. I have the same weapon.
Hey, we were talking about your skins yesterday.
Yeah, I don't have very many.
You have more than me.
I've got one very interesting one.
My skins are sentimental.
Oh, are they?
Yeah, well, they're my souvenir skins.
That's fair. You've got stickers and all of that jazz. Might do a giveaway soon, Chad. Neo takes out Zhao Sage back in the side. Kabul down to 17. QKA takes a tick of damage, but they don't look at him. They don't look at him. He does massive damage. Cabal is able to actually take down Mihu. Neo was the one that he found with the kill, but it was the damage before. Shadowpie gets in toward headshot, and that is unfrigging believable. I'm sorry. That is incredible that just got absolutely torn apart like that.
But this is the thing. They're not reacting quick enough. They're not isolating duels. They're forcing themselves into late round plays, which means the crossfire and the over-rotation coming from 5Power. And at that point, it's like shooting fish in a barrel. VP drop again and force buy once more. So exciting Counter-Strike, back and forth Counter-Strike.
Yeah, but this always leads to someone getting massively broken down economically. And the force buy again, Bialy's got the AK out. This whoever takes the early advantage from this usually gets 3 or 4 rounds.
Yeah,
easily
for 3,
spread.
yeah. And those who don't get a few tears, and Morales is crying his way to sleep as the flames will burn him away. Bialy going for checkers control. It looks, this feels like a tilted team early, like just going for individual plays and moves, and wants to be the B split again as Sage is going to take down Neo. Cabal onto Pasha, and now that AK of Bialy is left to do a lot of work. As the smoke will fade. Mihu will get the kill onto QKA, who overstayed his welcome. A second eagle shot onto Sage. Now it's looking interesting. 2 versus 3. B-bomb side appears to still be the option of attack, and out the vents drops Dobu. From behind to swift kills. Round number 3 on the board, and BP have to concede. They have to take an eco now.
Yeah, and this is kind of what we led to. You get to a 3-1 scoreline, which looks like a standard score given pistol, but they've been ecoed twice when they easily could have gone on a spread. Now they have no money to play in round 5 with. But I'm up on the opposing side, and it's going to be... It's bomb plant dependent. They're only going to get $2,400. Now, T-side, that puts them within range of a force buy, but not with much economy, utility to go along with Morals, Pasha, Neo, those 3 in particular. Bialy's not much better off, but a bomb plant changes all of that, so they can still dig them out of a hole pretty quickly with that.
Can I just say, Matt?
I don't know, can you?
Woman Crush Wednesday is the worst thing that I ever see tweeted, and I see some terrible stuff on the
Who
internet.
do you even follow that does that? No one I
Just
follow.
a retweet.
Women Crush Wednesday.
It just tilted me off the face of the O. Okay. Big kills to open the bomb side, and damage done to Sage through the smoke. These P250s and Glocks are somehow getting a lot of work done here. It's me who steps wide will go down. Bomb is going to get planted, so there's the plan of the round coming to fruition, but kills are still able to trickle in for VP as Miles is left in a 1-on-2 situation with the AK. Almost gets a kill on a QKA, but it won't be enough, and the defuse will come in. But the plant, as you alluded to, will give them enough money to get a proper gun round. And finally, we have a bit of normality in the server.
Yeah, absolutely. And the bomb plant had to have been the objective. That nearly got better off. Chad, may I just say?
Of course.
Or ask, I should say. Does Women Crush Wednesday crush you? Like, do you feel lonely because of who you're seeing and desperate, or do you just not like it? I'm wondering what your reaction is specifically.
To go the full story, it's Pterodactyl, she's retweeted, someone's put her up as a Woman Crush Wednesday.
Oh, that's lame. Why are you retweeting that? I get it, you could acknowledge it, but you're just almost like bloating.
Yeah, no, it's not. It's not a... I am a heartbroken individual, but it's not said individual.
Okay. Gotcha. Who would your Woman Crush Wednesday be?
I wouldn't have one.
Chad, this is a gun round. We need to focus. Mid-control is the name of the game.
You know what's going to happen, though, Matt? Let me talk you through the next... how many rounds we got left? Next 10 rounds. VP, when they have guns, are going to default. They're going to set up in a spread. They're going to wait for grenades. They're going to call out utility. They're going to spam through Squeaky. They're going to spam through smokes. Eventually, they're going to make a mid-round decision. They're going to use their remaining utility probably to get mid-control first and then either collapse onto the A or B bomb site. So you guys can turn the stream off. No, definitely don't do that. Stay here. Listen to us. But that's the basics.
We got to pay the bills, Chad.
That's what we're going to see. We're going to see. Oh, here it comes. So the default spread, wait out, utility, boost, Molotov the vent, you should. Molotov the sandbags, you should. Flash over, take mid-control.
So what's the response that 5Power need to apply? Is it information early, push one wing of the map?
Yeah, pop flash into A main, take B control, or Cabal, just kill him.
That works as well.
Yeah.
If they're going to play a default and you don't have information, you can still be beat by it, but if you can get the information early enough, perhaps differently, it will go. Pasha does find Cabal. Good find. Morals. He's looking to flash himself in, but a little bit hesitant on where to look, and Shadowpie, it's an all-too-easy kill as he was looking around rather confused. QKA having Pasha down brings us to a 4 versus 2 with 24 seconds. Me, who's gotten behind the forklift, but really not much further to go. Bomb still working back in from A main. Not a kill to QKA, and that's a problem. You give an op a chance to repeat, more so because he didn't have his gun at the ready, and the round falls apart. 5-1 for 5Power.
There's no way. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be overly mean to the guy, but Morales looks well and truly out of his depth here, and he's not even playing an opponent that I would consider a tier 3 team.
That's me who on camera, just to confirm that's not Morales.
But he looks well and truly out of his depth. His decision-making is poor. He has had maybe 2 good rounds in the entire game with aim over the last 2 days.
Wait, is that? Never mind, carry on.
I know that, you know, there's a learning curve when you're playing at this level of Counter-Strike, but it looks like me towards the end of my career, and I sucked, so...
Yeah, you were in the bin, I think, toward the end. Mentally.
I was so out of it.
Yeah.
Anyway.
No stories.
We don't want to go down the dark rabbit hole. Let's keep a positive vibe. I'm enjoying my time as a broadcaster. As mid-control and Neo will go hunting. Curiosity not killing this cat as so much territory has been taken. And the retake A, this isn't a problem.
The thing is, though, that this... Oh, okay, I was going to say, if he hugs the wall or gets a dink, it starts to matter. The fact that Neo got that far up highway and didn't really get anywhere with it, ultimately the position to truck outpowered him anyway.
It's frustrating as well, you know, the fact that he was given that information.
More so that's the bomb. Get that down, boys. You had default at the very least.
They force ball into this round, so you're right, the plant is essential in this scenario and not even going to get a kill as Pasha is left in a 1-on-5 situation with 55 seconds left on the clock. Plenty of time to work with, and we know that his aim has definitely been on point, but has to find the kills. Unable to do so, Sargate will get him through the corner of the wall. And 6-1 to 5Power now, who on Virtus.pro's map pick are looking very solid. Now, if we can think about what works into the wheelhouse of a team that is relatively new to being put together and show good individual prowess and are able to hit some shots, a map like Cache is perfect. You're just able to play off the basics. Everybody knows how to do a default. If you don't know how to throw a mid-smoke, maybe you should look yourself in the mirror. It is simple to do trading fundamental CS, and we did see a very basic T-side come out of them where they were only able to grab 3 rounds, but Cache lends itself to that play a little bit more, and this way, and there's another buy coming out from VP. It looks like it's tilting though, Matt. Look, there's no utility. They've obviously used it to take mid-control, but now they have nothing left for the mid-round. If you don't find many kills when you grab mid-control, and you're unable to capitalize on the territory you've been given, you're left with no play to make. Cabal able to step on out, grab a little bit of information, see a player on the boost. Not sure if he's expecting me to be pushed up already to the white box. At this point, Morales with the smoke and the Molotov, that's how they have to action this round. That is where the attack will come from. Saga, look at this. They've grabbed
This
so
is
much information.
excellent. Well, and this is what you talked about. If they're going to play a slow default, take that away from them. Because you don't want to get caught out by that late utility and get locked out of a site or have isolation happen where you're overwhelmed in an important choke point or important position. Now they've actually negated that possibility by getting so much information toward B. Anything they throw toward the site, he's behind it all anyway.
It's a fake, yeah, and he can have trigger discipline in this situation because Neo, you can see that he isn't even aware that this is an option right now. I don't expect him to turn this corner looking to his left. The bomb has trickled over. It is going to be a B hit.
This is Shazage. Like you say, trigger discipline, sees the gun, waits, fires early, but still makes it work, almost gets all three. I think a second longer, he might have had a better lineup toward 2 at the back, and then switched it over, but Bialy manages to pull it back. Unfortunately, they are still in a 4 versus 2 with 20 seconds. Cabal's positioning is excellent because they have to cross in front of him, and he easily disposes of Pasha. Damage as well on a Bialy, puts him on 16 round. Is done as QKA shows off some karate.
Bit of flashiness there. But that was one man's position, and they were booked. They were being read like... Who's an author that writes very bad or easy to read novels?
I don't really read.
Oh, okay. I was going to say a picture book, but you don't really read a picture book.
I do.
A comic book, maybe.
A picture says 1,000 words, Chad.
Yeah. What does interpretive dance say?
Says that we need some candles and wine.
All right, VP definitely going to have to talk things through because they are down 7-1 on the T side. Once again, I'm going to reiterate their map choice, and map 1 was almost completely and utterly thrown away, saved at the last moment on the final round by Bialy's 1v3 and Molotov. Burn, Disco, Inferno. Bit of a pistol upgrade, some armor, some nades, some bits and pieces as it is the B lane. QK unable to extinguish the Molotov, and Pasha will find an opening kill, so that's a good start and a bit of a change for VP. They will get an opening kill for once. Keep in mind, they did have good stock in the pistol round, and that
I
fell
thought QK was going to hit that. They did have great stock. I mean, this is the thing. It's 7-1, and Virtus.pro nearly actually pulled back round 3, and that fell apart on them.
So let's say they won pistol. Well, let's not live in the world of ifs and buts.
No, forget the fact that they won pistol because they ecoed the second round. So ultimately, they then had the momentum. So they could have still had the 3-1 score, 2-1 at the very least, depending on kills and whatever happened in those rounds. I didn't quite follow the money that closely, or at least can't recollect. But they had the momentum at the start of this game at one point in time.
It's fair to be critical of the way that they've played these anti-ecos because when they have lost a player, they really have struggled to make a good mid-round call. They've just continued to get picked off one at a time or funneled into a bomb site and been easy to read. But okay, the guns are out. This is where the comeback needs to begin. Virtus.pro need to start turning this around. Otherwise, they're going to find themselves in an absolute hole.
A dilly of a pickle.
And I think their mentality is probably at this point in time not in the finest of positions.
Someone says the analyst is Kubik.
Okay.
Not Cuban, it's Kubik.
Okay. Well, I had never seen him before, and I thought it was very interesting to he was giving a lot of information. They had a very heated chat, but Flash comes into A main. Dobby will spot the arm of a player. Molotov will come out to negate a push, but what it does allow is Pasha to use the AWP behind it, use the flames to his advantage. Now he's posted up towards quad. If another flash comes in, it will. Holy macaroni.
These guys are taking the piss right now. They're just ripping into VP every chance they get. This is 8-1 with a two-man lead in this one already. Moral's doing what he can, but doesn't respond to Dobu, who's behind the forklift and now finds his 3rd kill. It's exceptional from 5Power. This is Virtus.pro's map choice, and they are playing a stellar CT side for information.
Cannot complain about.
I mean, you called it. You nailed it. You nailed exactly what Virtus.pro's doing, and I posed the question, how do you respond? Get aggressive? Well, that's exactly what they're doing, and it's working wonders. I think you got to go fast if you're Virtus.pro now. Try and throw a curveball, a change-up. Is that what they call it, a pitcher, when they change the pace? A change-up, switch-up? I don't know. Baseball. Yay.
They do something. They definitely do something. You never want to have a Galil. You never want to have a Galil.
Yeah, they're not great.
That's how you know you're in a bad spot. I think that's a good way to look at Counter-Strike. If you have a Galil, you're struggling, but the Pop Flash comes in, the run boost will follow, and the quick B play is going to reap rewards. And the first kill goes to Morales, and he's going to continue with a second and third for him, as finally VP opened the account of a round. And if they lose a 5-on-2 B bomb site retake, Matt, Packer up, Packer in, let's begin the third, because it would be hopeless for VP at that point.
Well, that's not bad from Morals at all. As we sit now 4-on-2 in favor of Virtus.pro, and if he's out of his depth, at least he's treading water in some rounds, because that's what gets them finally on the board. Keep an eye on kills. Last time we saw Pasha extending his legs and lead, and up to 21 at the end of the first half. It was 20 for Bialy. This time Bialy's on 5, Pasha's on 3. Morals is on 8 and leads the way. Shocking stuff.
Last time we saw him on the CT side of this map, he only had 2 kills. This time round, as you mentioned, leading the way, leading the charge. So positive signs, as I was calling him out at the start of this match, and he's the only one who's showing on up.
Morals is absolutely excellent that round. Finally what they needed. But it's a split. 2-2-1 on the defensive side. Aggression to mid. Cabal gets forward of the smoke. They'll go for the boost behind it. They've done this before, but they didn't spawn any Virtus.pro players because they were too far back. Shirpai does go for the flash again. So again, they get information. This time, no kills. They'll fall off to the site. Mihu gets in deep and early. Spots a player retreating, but can't find the kill. Morals does instead as he went from the squeaky door. So again, he's the one who opened. Mihu, good position. This is the pace change. This is exactly what Virtus.pro needed. It may still be a 3-on-2 and very doable for 5Power, but they're into the site with 1 minute and 22, and bomb will go down.
Problem is as well, QK on the AWP retake. It's not the easiest weapon to use, but we've seen him be flary with it, but may not even come into question, as Pasha from A main will deliver with a shot, and that's going to put an already hard task as near impossible. Offering up Bialy. Hello. Now he's going to opt for the save. They do have enough money to go for a buy again in the next, but I guess Cabal on 1900 may give reason for a save, I suppose, and that's not going to happen, as Pasha says, hello, we'll put the CZ75 to use. Finds a kill in the back, and that's 3 on the board for VP, who now are definitely in a position to get a reasonable half. Maybe 5-6 rounds is on the cards.
6 rounds would be excellent. T side.
From the 8-1 position they found themselves in.
Yeah.
It feels like they've identified the issue. When they are going slow, when they are defaulting, they're not able to react correctly in the mid-round. They don't have their protocols in place, so they're going for a faster pace, allowing individuals to open up. The problem with that is, if 5Power adjust, which I hope that they would, they know they need to play more of a heads-up style of CS. Don't get caught with your nades out. Be ready to take the jewels. And that Molotov's going to do a lot of damage. Cabal is going to finish off Mihu, and damage continues to be done to players on the boost as Bialy finds himself low on HP, and the finisher, the cleaner, the mop. Cabal brushes them away. Look at that damage. Pasha and Neo chunked down by a grenade.
Oh, he doesn't see it. Yeah, I was going to say Dabu slipped in behind the forklift lady. He had no idea. Great shot, Cabal, as he strafes out and finds an immediate headshot onto Pasha. And Neo's left in a 1 versus 5. This goes 10-3. Virtus.pro get very little money. And that 5 or 6 rounds, okay, fair enough. Yeah, unscope and then scope back in and then get the kill and all that.
360.
Sees the shadow as well. Knows he's there. He's so low on HP. He has the bomb. The bomb plant would be an incredible task and an achievement at this point, but gets caught running by Dobu, who continues to be impressive. Another 2 kills for him, 3 for Cabal, but yeah, this now becomes a hard task just to get that 5 rounds.
Pasha instantly buys the AWP. The rest of them are going to have to decide what weapon they like the looks of the best. Maybe a UMP, maybe a CZ. Who knows? It's me who grabs a P250. CZs for Morels and Bialy. Neo on an AK. I don't want to say it, Matt, but it looks like they're tilting off the face of the planet.
It wouldn't surprise me. I mean, this is their choice. Moral's going to get run boosted.
If it worked last time, it should work again, right? That's kind of how life works.
That's right. If at first you don't succeed, continue to smash your head off of the wall of a bathroom. Pasha takes down Cabal. Is that your model too?
Yeah, I've heard good stories about that.
It works well, according to the X-rays. Dobu, shot onto Pasha. The pistol's not amounting to much, and Moral's the man that was run boosted in early. Will die late. It goes 11-3 for 5Power.
All right, let's give a bit of stock for the viewers at home just so you can see how this one's unfolding. We have Dobu over towards the top of the scoreboard, 18 kills for him. Sage on 14, Cabal 13, QK 10, Shoot Up High on 8. Now if we go over to the Virtus.pro side of
That's not
things,
so good, is it?
Morel's leading the way on 9, Bialy 7, Pasha and Nihu on 6 apiece, and Neo on 5 kills. No one on double digits just yet. This is their last chance, the last round to grab double digits. And it will be a fast A play. As A main is taking control of, Squeaky is being pushed on quickly, and the boost is going to come out right here, right now from 5Power. If the pounce comes in, they may get caught with their trousers down around their ankles, but lucky enough, they move in time, re-smoke A main, give themselves another 20-ish seconds on the clock, but it's definitely looking like an A attack at this point.
So just the AK in round 15. Pasha. There's the smoke, and it's gotta be a contact. Good read. I knew that he was up there, but had to be a straight kill. That's the gun gone. Dobu's just playing with him at this point in time. Good find from Morals to run out and get the kill at the very least. Maybe, look, it's gonna take a lot. I agree with Pasha to mold this guy into a real man, as he put it, but there is some potential here from Morals. He certainly is a good second entry. He knows the obligations of where he needs to go, and another 3 kills for him in this round. He leads the way again, and it might be the hero play they need. I say that, and Pasha was so low. Now Morals with 6, has 2 more to find. It would be an ace if he does so.
Not impossible considering Sage's health, and he's going to isolate that plan now, giving himself a one-on-one situation, knows where Cabal was.
Ooh, I thought he was going to try and use his failures at jumping as a fake instead, but goes for it. This
I like this.
Could actually work. He's got to be very quick. He's got to nail it. M4 doesn't see it, but I'm surprised he repeaks it. I was going to say he didn't need to do that. It was 14 seconds, but he could have actually slipped away and tried to play a different angle.
That definitely plays into what Pasha was saying. You know, he needs to get the experience and, you know, maybe learn on his feet and learn very quickly, because a 12-3 half to 5Power on Virtus.pro's map pick. Let's see if they're able to bounce back in the second half after the break.
Well, we get back underway, 12-3 in favor of 5Power. Now, remember the first match, Chad? We were on Inferno. Virtus.pro started out on the CT side. They went 12-3 up, and we went to round 30. This is Virtus.pro's map choice. Time to see if they've got anything up their sleeve.
Let's make some notes very early of this 5Power pistol round. They have 4 decoys, Matt. So I'm not sure what they're planning on doing with those. As an in-game leader, I hated it when Azza would always buy one of them and then go into a gun round and be short $50 for an extra flashbang. But it will be the A attack. Molotov smoke will come in and Bialy through the smoke. First bullet graces Sage's head. Will be the bomb going down in the default position, meaning they need to play in the site because they can't defend it from the forklift. From main, they need to make sure that they are ready and raring to stop the CT retake, which will be coming from Squeaky, main, highway, and truck. So all avenues are going to be taken by Virtus.pro on this retake, but they are taking their time. They are posturing. They are waiting. And in the meantime, Pasha will find another kill. Mihu taking a little bit of damage. And this is where A main will get smoked off. And the problem becomes the A bomb site holders are gone. Morales continues where he left off in the first half.
Ooh, Cabal. Cabal.
Just run away,
Neo was doing a Matrix on that one. But the defuse comes through and Virtus.pro pick up a pistol.
You can see there's no foresight in that. I'm going to hazard a guess that they called that pistol round in freeze time. If you're going to plant the bomb in a closed position, normally you want to have some form of after plant aggression. Now we're getting into real technical terms. But what I mean is, if you're going to play only 2 players in the site with the bomb in a position that can't be defended from A main or the forklift, you need to make sure that you have like an extra flash or everybody's ready to step out and take a duel together, because the CTs are just going to methodically close down the positions. And as you saw, that smoke from Bialy completely isolated Cabal. Didn't even have a chance to make a kill. Definitely couldn't stop the defuse. And it will be an eco coming out from 5Power, who will be adding 1 flash to the equation, but are spread out early. Weirdly enough. Normally, when you have a full eco, you want to, I don't know, group on up, try and use the mass potential of 5 Glocks shooting all at once to take down an opponent, but more than happy to just die one at a time. Dude.
Sage takes down Mihu. Pasha, though, does get back. Look at Sage go. He nearly pulled that off with a couple of jump shots, but it was a heavy advantage at that point already for Virtus.pro, so it's 12-5, Pasha getting the kill.
Because of the plant, they are able to buy 1 round early. So the AKs are up. But that will definitely be indicated to VP. They know that there was no upgrade. They know that there were no pistol buys coming out there. There was no armor. The heads exploded like watermelons. So they know that they need to be expecting AK-47s. And with that in mind, they have 4 of their own rifles. And 1 MP7 in the hands of Neo. Grenades over the top of the boost. Damage exchanged early. But mid-control appears to be the first port of call as QK gets a really big pick there onto Morales. He was the only defender over towards that B-bomb site.
Shots out, but Cabal wins against Neo yet again. It's the advantage to 5Power. Bit of a bonus situation, but still there is a lot of M4s and Pasha being one to buy one, in fact. So the money's not amazing for Virtus.pro. Only picked up 2 rounds. 5Power can put a stop to this very early and force out what I believe is train for map 3.
Indeed it is.
Mihu back toward Useless finds 1. Is he going to expect the fact that there's a second there? QK is very low, but he has the advantage. No, he does not. That's actually well played. Bait them back in. Pasha's already sitting out towards Sunroom, and it's now Virtus.pro that take control, having started off rather poorly.
Cabal's going to drop any second here. Mihu with this push is just going to grab him around the corner of the smoke. And now Sage left with a bit of a saga.
That's nice. I like it.
3 to find. 30 seconds. Not impossible, but a lot of corners to check. And when your own spawn is being I was looking for inhabited, and then I screwed it up. I'm still learning, man. I could talk in short bursts, but you have to do it for 45 minutes at a time. But he will find the kill, and he will make his way onto the bomb site. But that's where Bialy will poke his head out from the forklift, get the kill. And that felt never in doubt after that B push came in from Virtus.pro. Really left 5Power without too many options. And having a quick look at their money, everybody is 2,800 or less. So a pistol upgrade would be fine. There'd be no problem with them getting some deagles. Maybe a flashbang, a smoke here, there, and everywhere. I'm going to get the money bonus going into the next regardless. Or best case scenario, find some crisp, clean headshots and make the magic happen. But it will be the classic Henry G strategy. 4 squeaky door with a flash and bust onto the bomb site.
Do it.
Make Hank proud.
Did this to me in a show match once. I called it. No one believed me. Bialy makes me proud. See? He's a believer.
The amount of pugs that we played with Henry on Cage, and he called it every time.
I didn't even play with you guys, and I could hear it. I was sitting in the room.
We knew it was coming.
Here's the strap, boys. All right, here's the thing, guys. Someone buy a flash. All right, listen up, Chad. Chad, you're gonna run toward the A main. You're the distraction. Rest of us, here we go, boys. On my count, we're gonna go.
That's the way it worked as well. I was the nade thrower. I wonder if that means Henry had trust in me.
Or he just saw you as useless.
Yeah.
You throw the nade, Chad.
I did a lot of that in my career. All right, here we go. Guns are out. AWP is up. Boost is over.
Pasha trying to get aggressive at checkers as well, but you're right, the boost is over. Neo's got to be very careful from the sandbags. Nade will do damage. I take that back. It does 2 damage. Shadapai, Neo gets the kill, but Dubai gets the kill.
I'd love to go to Dubai. He's going to get a second as well, and then swinging on out as Bialy wants the trade. He will get it, but offers himself up as he wide peaks in QKA. He's going to give the number advantage in the power of 5Power. Will be the B hit, and this is where we did see Morales really suffer yesterday. He's not playing over there this time around. It will be Pasha with the AWP and currently caught in transition. If the smoke doesn't come in, and a flash will act instead. Enough for Dobu to grab a third. A fantastic round from him. And as the bomb gets planted, Morales considers his options in this 1-on-3 situation. Has a defuse kit. Has 2 flashbangs and a Molotov, but doesn't want to make any noise to give away where he's retaking from. It appears he wants to go for this, peering out very tentatively, checking left and right.
Check all he likes, but he's not going to get anything for it. 5Power find round number 13. They'll halt Virtus.pro on 7, getting only 4 rounds before the second attempt at guns goes the way of the T's, and they get the AWP to go against Pasha. We're going to get a timeout. This is Virtus.pro called.
Man, the amount of pressure that it's such a legendary name, right? And it's legendary players, and
Virtus.pro.
It's just suck, you know, to be in a position where you were once gods of the game, and now you're struggling against 5Power, who don't even all speak the same language.
I mean, don't get me wrong. There's another team that went through a similar struggle and were also gods of the game. They just managed to do slightly better in Pro League and a few qualifiers. That's obviously NIP. They were in a similar position. They won Oakland.
They're still in that position, to be completely honest.
It's just that they haven't, for some reason, Virtus.pro seems to outdo that in that they lose to someone you never should. Whereas NIP, they're always a team that seems like they're on the brink of getting through to something, and then they just get one upset that kills everything.
To be fair, VP are a legend team, so
yes,
yeah. Let's like that. So if you keep that in mind, then that's a bit.
That is, yeah, that's right. They are still a legends team. They lost 2 of the 5, but they retained 3, which gives them the core.
Which is why you can't really have a divorce of more than.
The thing is, as well, to lose that legend spot now, you have to be knocked into the round of 24, which means it's even less likely, which is even more discouraging to roster changes.
Yeah, it's a weird system, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, I never actually thought of that. In fact, you could just be in that position where you have to keep 3 for so long. Mind you, if they do it now and it's 2 of the new players, they can remove a third, right? So you still get a transfer period there. Bialy, good position forward at A main, is able to take down both Dobu and Shadapai. QKA gets 1 back, but is that enough? Mihu's on 13. They could have easily disposed of him with an 8 if they knew, if they had.
Surprising he overstayed his welcome there as well. If he had dropped, that could have opened the avenue to the A bomb site, but it's now forced them to pivot back towards middle. So okay, he's going to get up on the boost. He's going to get inquisitive. He's going to see what he can find, but there's nothing on offer. No delicacies out there for him to dine on. Cabal will take that room, will work with that space, and they will pivot now once more back towards A main. Mihu playing retake with that low HP, and Morales spotting out middle. We'll call it's clear, which is not the case. Cabal now in a position with 15 seconds left on the clock to really disrupt things, but Morales, too smart, too sharp, too quick. We'll get the kill, and now that should be the round done. 9 seconds left. All Miyu has to do is push on in, deny the plant.
Okay, you say that, and he pushes in and gives himself up for free. Bomb is now down. There's a chance Pasha has other ideas.
Imagine if when we had ideas in real life, like a light genuinely went off above our head or something.
It'd be terrible, wouldn't it?
Yeah, because then you'd know everyone's thinking all the time.
That, and if you had a really good idea and someone was desperate enough, they'd be like, that guy had a light, I'm going to steal it. And they just kidnap you, torture you, and take the idea.
There's an elephant.
I was about to say, there's an elephant in the room, Chad.
And it's not.
I don't know that went through our mics or not.
That's how my mum sounds when she blows her nose. She sounds like an elephant.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm a mouse. The old proverb or whatever you want to call that. Good exchange at the start. You are right. Miyu did overstay his welcome there. Finade that Xiaozage did have went that direction. He was gone. 13 HP. Nonetheless, Virtus.pro still holding on. It's a similar situation to what we had in the last game, where it's now 13-8. It was 13-7, I think, when we started off really getting a little worried for Virtus.pro. Last time, that's just absolutely stupid.
Just pre-aiming both of those lines. Damage on the first, the re-aim, the reposition, a headshot on the second. Unfortunately, one of his teammates will go down in the interim, but that was lovely to see. As the pistol upgrades from Power Gaming. Sorry, Power Gaming was a team Henry used to play for, so 5Power. March their way out middle with the deagle still in hand. Damage easily inflicted with that bad boy, but from the vents, Morels will swing.
Dabu gone. Shadapai gone. Pasha with another kill, starting to get rolling. CT sides don't look to be the problem at all for Virtus.pro. I'll give them that.
Both teams really struggled on their T sides over both maps.
Neo's on 7, so too is Shadapai. 17, 17, 18, 9, the rest of Virtus.pro. On the other side, it's 17, 17, 15, 25. Dabu seems to be the difference in many ways.
We got to ban that. We got to ban that stat on screen.
Which stat is that?
Like, I don't normally worry about agendas and stuff like that. You know, like people worry about capitalization of words and.
Sure. Okay. What was the stat specifically?
Headshot percentage. It is the most useless statistic in all of Counter-Strike.
Yeah. Who cares how you kill him? Just kill him.
Yeah. So we'll get that addressed. I'll send it.
More so if you're an AWP player. Headshot percentage. Who cares?
Yeah.
Give me leg percentage.
Actually, that's not a bad point by any means. But then will be the crisscross smokes. But VP, they missed it.
How do you? They're so easy.
They're the easiest smokes in the game.
Even I know those. Bialy at the fence knows what's going on, though, and even though they want to try and split through middle, it's actually a sales pitch for A. How is he still alive, having thrown a incendiary in the middle of the open and gets away with 1 HP somehow? What's off for Cabal would do it, but that requires getting into the correct position. It will isolate Quad for now, but it's a 3 versus 2. And Pasha steps back out, catching them in retreat. He'll fall. Now, Cabal could actually still pull this off. If Bialy's not careful to stay hidden, and he catches him, it goes to a one-on-one. The problem is he doesn't have the bomb, so they know he's got to come back to this site, and therefore Morals can play accordingly.
Mate, the fact that Morals is playing that open in that position, give you more than a lifeline to 5Power. But kept honest, held at bay. The comeback from Virtus.pro is definitely on. We're seeing more and more glistening signs of a hope appear. But once again, the issue is not dealing with 5Power. This should be easy. This should be a walk in the park. This should be a stroll up and down the bund. This should not be a back and forth struggle, because they have a hard game later today against Hellraisers if they're able to convert here. Pulling out the nade at the wrong time, but Neo will still get it in and chunking down a little bit of damage. The crossfire between Miyu and Neo will stop the B attack in its tracks.
2 rounds between them. 5Power feeling the pressure. Elimination match, and Virtus.pro already has map 1 in the bank, under their belt, in hand.
In the bag.
In the bag. Either way.
Bags can be stolen, though.
That's true. But it's the money battle. 5Power T side. We'll have AKs out This time around, QKA goes toward the mid position, but gets smoked off. Default smoke indeed. And another one of those thrown over toward B main. So there's 2 smokes left. Lots of fire, but 2 smokes left on the T side.
It's not surprising that 5Power don't
CT
have
side.
many strategies because this roster has only been playing together for, I don't know, maybe a week. So the fact that they don't have a lot of set pieces and executes on Virtus.pro's map pick is not surprising to me, but I thought they would have at least had the crisscross mid-smokes down, or they would have somebody in the team. Normally, you know, you have 1 or 2 players who are those guys that know all the smokes, and then the in-game leader can just use those 2 players and innovate on the fly. That's normally what, you know, you can kind of even get away with in a pug environment. But here it just feels like they're hoping for a very basic like flash contact play. And if you're going to funnel out of places like Squeaky Door, it's one of the easiest choke points to really shut down. And their misdirection, their map control is very poor. So VP, they're not necessarily feeling stressed or pressured to use utility. If you take a glance on the left-hand side of your screen, you can see a couple of Molotovs still remaining, and there is 40 seconds left on the clock. So this is the dream if you're the CTs. At this point, when the attack comes in, start dispersing your utility, start locking out those choke points, and it will be a B split.
Dobu in. Walks immediately to the site, but it's smoked off in its entirety. Neo gets above and onto the box. They had a lot of utility left over to try and make this hit work, but it's 17 seconds and they're not near enough to the site. Neo's got vision. He'll step out, shut them down. Morals does the same, and it's on to Cabal. We're going 13 to 12. He snapped his gun quite quickly to find Morals. They're both weak enough, fair play. But it is 1 round that separates Virtus.pro from tying this game.
You could see that round was the perfect example of what I'm talking about. They didn't stress out any utility. They did a default spread, but if you don't pressure an experienced team like VP, they have no need to throw their Molotovs, their utility, until you're actually going to make a hit on the site. When that hit came in, the Molotovs, the smokes, the flashes, everything came out from the defense. And when you're in a pressure position with 15 seconds on the clock, it just becomes panic, 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 and into the blender you run. Like flies, and once again you'll see the pistol upgrade was a little bit of utility, but there's no plan behind this. There's no goal. There's let's go out and hope we can find some kills, and finding kills has been a big issue for them on this T side. Not even having many opportunities to get an opening or trade, just being stomped on out by the multi-kills of Virtus.pro. See, this is just a very, very slow spread out round, and Dobu made a play. That's what I'm talking about, just individualism. It's not really enough to win a game, unfortunately, even when you did have such an amazing first half lead.
Yeah, it's remarkable. 1 round only so far for 5Power. It was after 4 rounds, and they were immediately reset. They've got a lost round bonus in full completion this time, but it's getting pretty deep in the wick, because it's about to be a tie game. Cabal with the CZ. Goes out toward middle. Nothing you can really do with this. Has the bomb, fair enough, but good luck. Who's going to pick him apart. 3 kills in the round for him, all from a similar position at white box.
All right, this is it. This is the last chance if you're a 5Power gaming fan and you want to see them take down the Indonesian team, Virtus.pro.
Indonesian team.
You know the meme on HLTV where they talk about like Bentet and Excurate being from Poland, and
yes,
because the flag is
the flag, I get it.
Yeah. This is it. They need to pause. They need
Balinese?
to talk. But yeah.
Oh man, I'd go.
That's what I was thinking of going after this event, but I canned it.
Yeah, I gotta go cast some PUBG. Hey, maybe I'll see Virtus.pro there. There's another meme for you.
Yeah, I got that one. All right, here it is. The guns are out. There's no warp. They're not going to try and make a pick with that, which means hopefully they have a plan of some variety. If you can't rock at new school, maybe we rock at old school. Let's go for a fast mid approach. Let's get this connector smokes out. It's not going to be that way. Cabal's going to throw the smoke towards the boost to extinguish the Molotov, and this time around they're not actually going to boost anybody up. They will be leaning over towards the B bomb site early, and explosion play will be coming out, but mid isn't under threat at all as Neo gets boosted up. Grenade is going to come on in, and Kobe! That's Dobu, the man getting the frags out of the round. Mihu onto Cabal, and what looked like a plan has quickly gone awry.
Certainly has.
I don't know how many mice are in the server, but there's definitely 3 men left for 5Power.
Was that supposed to be like a musketeer?
No,
Sort
the
of
best laid plans of mice and men.
Sure. Sure. Gotcha.
Very weak connection, but we're giving it a crack. Still heading B. They're just hoping to find an opening kill here, checking the corners. What's going to happen is they're going to get to the precipice where utility must be used because there's too many angles to watch at once as QKA tries to throw a fake over towards the A bomb site. It does force Neo to step out aggressively, but doesn't matter about him falling. Morales from the backline is going to take down one eventually, not expecting the second for some reason. He's going to fall, but it is Shooter Pie left in a 1-on-3 situation. Mihu from the backlines will take him down. 14 on the board now for VP, who did look like they're in trouble. Maybe they need to readdress their team.
Yeah, this is, I mean, look, it's unfortunate because you had a chance to get this to a third map, more time to play together, whether we see this 5-power, 5-men lineup ever together again, given the circumstances of change after the minor and having some stand-ins and language barriers, etc. Unlikely, I'm going to say, but they're 2 rounds away from being knocked out of this event.
There's clearly potential within the region, and you touched on this yesterday. Why don't we have 5 players from the same country or speak the same language together, united under one banner?
Yeah, and I just to go back to it, I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that they're trying to get the best talent available to try and immediately go on the world stage. But I think actually if you were to play within your own language and foster talent within and create more depth in that regard, you'd probably, although it's a long-term strategy, you'd probably have a better chance. Like, you're limiting how far you, in other words, the potential's greater if you're all speaking the same language. You might be there sooner now, but you have a much higher skill ceiling if you take the time to build it.
Well, let's do this. Let me pick my own Chinese roster. Pay me 200,000 euros a year, and I'll coach a Chinese team, and I'll live here in Shanghai.
That's an offer.
Give me 6 months.
That's an offer.
AWP from Pasha posted up from Checkers is going to see multiple members, almost gets a double, and Morale's now close and personal. There's the double that comes in after the fact. We missed that from Pasha, but it's clean and easy. The mop-up happens, and the game is now over.
Yeah, essentially done. This is Virtus.pro going to be going forward to play against Hellraisers later on today. They will, in fact, play that tonight because tomorrow we do head to ChinaJoy in the arena and we get the playoffs underway. 1 best-of-3 a day. It's pretty straightforward, actually.
Tomorrow, actually, is the Group B decider game. So today we finish all of Group A.
Right, yeah, sorry, you're right.
Then Saturday will be the first semi, Sunday will be the second semi, and Monday will be the grand final.
Monday.
Interesting.
Monday. Boost to the vent, perhaps. Looks like that's going to be the case. QKA had a chance to maybe spray into that and spot it, but couldn't do so with the smokes in place and didn't take the gamble or chance in it. So guns drawn for 5-power because, let's face it, what choice do they have? Neo inside of the vent as a result of it. We'll wait with the vent already blown out from one side. No Molotov in there to distill him and no Molotov available to do so. So that's going to have to be something they watch the entire time they try and take middle, or Neo could be a massive problem.
This is where an individual from 5-power needs to step up and hit some big shots here, but that vent position of Neo is going to come into fruition once more. He spotted the barrel, he gets a kill, and Mihu will find Durbu on top of the roller door. That's a great shot from Saga. There's overextension for Mihu, unnecessary. Could have dropped back, could have played the 4-on-4, but now the number advantage definitely given in favor of 5-power, who will be opting to go back towards B. And Morales has been fantastic. He's been much better today than he was yesterday from the drip position again. He's found some damage before. Shot way too early. And this one's going another round, I think, Matt.
That's
a blunder.
A massive blunder. That was the round. He hits that. They control the perimeter of the site, and the bomb plant becomes very uncomfortable. Now they have a man advantage bomb easily positioned. Good nade. ShadowPie goes down to 41. He's also burning. He's on 19. Makes this all possible. They've got information as to where the second one is as well. That's 2 of 3 sorted, but Bialy's got to find the kills. Easily drops in to find Zasage. It's the one missing. They need to sort and sort quickly. 100 HP for Cabal, and the timing off, but Pasha can't do it all. Can't spot them both. Good trade from ShadowPie, who had to peek immediately.
Yeah, good for them to actually peek off of each other's duels. What you do see when teams get pushed into a position like that, they get a little bit scared, or they get a little bit hesitant, and they're not willing to face like that, which is actually the wrong way to play that situation. So really good of him to have the balls, considering he only has, I believe it is about 9 kills to his name, to step out, close that one, give 5-power the 14th. And this is both maps in a row, Matt, we've seen go all 30 rounds. I think this one, however, with the amount of money in the bank for Virtus.pro, shouldn't be a 1-on-3 clutch with a Molotov play in an after-plant scenario. That was just maybe a little bit too much confidence being displayed from VP. But they definitely should consider themselves large and in charge. It took some really good shots from Sage to even get them into that position. And does lightning strike twice? That's the question.
I mean, yes, but not in the same spot, I think is what we're going for there with that analogy.
Yeah. Well, I guess lightning strikes a lot.
Yeah, all the time. Haven't been in any good thunder and lightning storms lately. Pasha.
Oh, he's missed.
That's a problem. This could now go extra because he's given up a kill early, and he's given up B main in doing so. After all of this, after Virtus.pro come back from 12-3 down, giving up only 1 round in this half, getting the 14th after Morals was unable to capitalize from behind box at drip, as you call it. It's now a chance we see overtime. Sage takes out Mihu, and that increases the chances of that happening.
2 rounds in a row, he's found multi-kills. Huge impact from him, but this is where Bialy, one of the veterans of the team, needs to step up with that aim we know him for. The utility rains onto the bomb site. They step out, he spams 1, has to get more. The second comes in. Almost a spray transfer onto Dobo now. Morels is next in the firing line.
Oh, the Flames, Cabal, Morels down. He had such a good first half. He was at 15 very early on into the second half as well. And he ends on 24 kills. We're going to go directly back into it. Bialy leads the way on 26-27. Dobu still leads overall. It's overtime, baby.
This is what was taken away from 5Power.
Pasha's expression, I think, says it all.
Is that a Razer keyboard?
I don't know. I like it, though. It's very pretty.
I think it's a Razer keyboard.
It's a breast cancer awareness keyboard.
I had a similar one, but it wasn't.
I don't know if it actually is, but that'd be cool if it was.
I don't know if we have that in esports yet, do we?
I don't know. Henry and I got Movember started. Maybe we can get breast cancer started next.
Yeah, sure. There are definitely a lot of females in esports, so there's no problem there.
You don't even have to be female to support it.
You don't even need to have to be female to get breast cancer, so.
There you go.
We are going to get stuck into it now. A buy will come in. AWP in the hands of Cabal. We didn't really see one come out too much on the T side. 5Power, because they didn't really have the cash to do so. Across the middle to take the pick. Won't hit the shot. Throws it back over to QK. And Mihu, in the meanwhile, will take some A-main presence with Bialy in tow as support. ShooterPie, he needs to get some more kills. Sitting there on 9. It doesn't matter. He won't get it, but QKA. We did talk about lightning striking twice. He's all does exactly that.
Neo still pushed up inside of middle, unwilling to give up the position because it is good real estate. Problem is the value's decreasing because he's got bad neighbors. Everywhere around him is occupied by the opponent, and Dobu's going to be boosted above as well. Ground floor apartments with a loud neighbor above. It's just going from bad to worse. Not a good investment.
Occasionally my neighbors above me make a bit of
a stink.
Bit of noise, and I don't really like it.
I don't really think that's the biggest noisy issue you have in your location.
No.
You got like that Boogaloo place, Stiefel.
Party, party, party.
You say party, we say die. It's a Canadian band.
I think Neo's in a really good position here to disrupt the tentative 5Power. They're really struggling to make a decision, and I think the later this round goes, that boost position is going to assume or allow them to assume that it's clear, and the longer he waits, the more information he gets. So
good response from Dobu. That is sick, because he absolutely could have brought this to, at very worst, if he went down on the next player, a 2 versus 2. That's massive. Pasha, he's also pretty massive in the biceps, and he's going to be holding on to a very big gun with him. He's got the first shot, but burns alive, trying to go back out for the shot onto Dobu, who's on 12, and Morals has a chance to tack, but makes noise. Dropping down, it's the bomb gone. All he has to do is stay alive, and Dobu's on 12. Good play from Morals. He'll get the 16th.
Yesterday, he was definitely the hole in Virtus.pro's.
Where are you going with that one?
Attack.
Okay, yeah.
Defense. One of the two. He wasn't doing anything today. He's getting a lot done. He's had a lot of impact. We have to remember, Matt, he won them around single-handedly in that first half, and one of very few, which if he was unable to get, this game probably would have already been over. and then had impact on other key rounds throughout this game. As now, 5Power continue to search for answers. They took 2 very big kills towards A main early there and were able to convert. I don't know how many times they're going to get gifted that kind of a start. Looks like it will be an A lean. 2 players A main, 1 squeaky door. One in the back lines. Gonna grab the bomb and I assume scamper over with his teammate as damage and nades are exchanged. Nothing really coming from it.
Cabal tries to get through the doorway, but gets tagged down to 72. Bialy comes off much worse for wear. Pasha, you're right, just barely gets out of the mid position. So as they work toward A main.
They have enough utility to do a pretty potent hit, so those Molotovs can be used for the MBK and quad positions, completely flushing out anyone from there. The standard smoke towards forklift. Cabal overextending, giving his life away before the attack even has a chance to come in. QK8, and use the Molotovs as we just discussed. There's one. Smoke will follow. No one moves from that position, and Dobu is going to be more than pivotal now as apparently they know what's up. 20 seconds left, indecision at an all-time high.
Mihu, though, does get Dobu. That's the high fragger. Morals holds off South Sage. He takes over the lead for Virtus.pro's kill totals, but it's Shadowpie, the only one remaining with the bomb. And it will be a second straight round in overtime for Virtus.pro, bringing our totals to 17 and 15.
I feel like they're going to be kicking themselves that they didn't close it in regulation, right? You could see how
absolutely. Pasha couldn't believe it.
Yeah, the thing is, you know that it sucks that you gave away that opening kill, but that shouldn't necessarily be the nail in the coffin of a round. Unfortunately, for him it was. He would definitely be shaking his head about that one after the fact, but this could be it. This could be the clean sweep in the first half of overtime, and VP really want to take this in 2. Don't want to have to put too much stress out. There's going to be the boost over mid. Pasha taking a lot of damage. Just to note, if you're curious about that smoke that you keep seeing thrown, it's to extinguish a Molotov, and while I'm blabbering on about smoke semantics, Neo finds a kill. Mid control has been garnered. Bialy with A main information is the perfect response. Anything you can take, I can take better. Shooterpie's really been struggling to get into this game, still only down the bottom on 9 kills. On the flash comes A main, Bialy swings on out, gets another kill. 3 on 5 number advantage now for Virtus.pro. Someone needs to equal it up, and will it be QK? He's spotted the AWP player. Pasha takes his hand off over the box, and a bit of a jolt there, but it doesn't matter as VP continue to get the kills. And now it's a 2-on-4. Back over towards the B bomb side. Sage out the vent. He was the impact player. He was the man that brought them to overtime. Rouse with utility to delay, to allow the rotation to come in. A flash. Sage recovers and gets the kill from a 2-on-4 to a 2v2. The bomb will go down momentarily. Maybe not. That Molotov delayed things. If Sage wants to win this, he's going to have to get 2 of his own.
He's very nearly finding Neo toward heaven. They hear the bomb going down. They'll push. They'll allow it. Doesn't make much sense economically to try and deny it, but they go for the trade. Double peek, same position. Neo gets the kill on Zasage, and we now get 3 rounds in a row. You are right in saying that you wouldn't be surprised if they did sweep this out in overtime. It is now 18-15. Virtus.pro get 3 cracks at wrapping this up. Pasha's all right with that. Yeah, sure, I'll take 3 cracks. Why not? He doesn't want to walk home. Let's just put it that way.
The worrying sign is that they are struggling to dispatch of a team that they should be a lot better than, right? This is not me putting a negative spin on them winning a game. This is the fact of the matter. These guys should be outclassing this level of opponent. So props to 5Power for putting up this much of a fight. Worrying signs for an already concerned about Virtus.pro.
Yes, no, there's no, I mean, both these games went 30 rounds and now beyond in this case. So you're absolutely onto that. And Virtus.pro, certainly, yes, it's good to see them in the win column and everyone is going to rejoice, but it's still a underlying worry if we're honest. QKA. What do you think it stands for? Quick Killing Assassin.
That'd be cool.
Well, he's got the AWP. He can easily do it quickly, but he's been flashed off the angle. Mihu's got his teammate down. He does find one small hit. That is quite quick, and he might have a third. Trying to go for the no-scope, but Neo gets the shot instead. It is now 3-on-3, and Virtus.pro want to try and close it. Morals slows things down, controls his aim, and actually comes out all right on that kill because he's only got 79, or rather, only still has 79 HP afterwards. So 3-on-2, that's quite established for Virtus.pro.
We put this in our top 5 hardest bomb sites to retake, Matt. And it's going to be a mission for 5Power to get back in a number disadvantaged scenario. Utility expended. They flash, they push, they pick, and they take down Neo. It's one step in the right direction, as now Sugarpie needs to get something done. Plucked out of the air, and now it's Cabal left on a 1-on-2. This is over. It's done. Pack it in.
Yeah. Virtus.pro moving on. They'll play Hellraisers. 5Power are gone. They bow out of the event now. I don't think anyone is a bit surprised by that. But maybe perhaps you are surprised by the scores and that they made it so close against VP. They've still got something to worry about. We'll have to surely consider that when they do go up against HR a little bit later on. Speaking of HR, call the HR department because we've got a worry on the desk. His name is Stunna.
Yeah, I don't know that any of the blunders could possibly top your own there, Matthew, but one blunder that we might have just witnessed happen would have been Virtus.pro locking that one in, or locking themselves out, rather, I should say. Yes, that is the score. Virtus.pro 2-0, 5Power in our opening elimination match of the day. And you got to kind of wonder, guys, how many not like this moments are we going to have?
I feel like it's, well, I don't think they're going to get into a situation where there's going to be a not like this moment when they come up against Hellraisers, because if they play like this, they're going to get smashed out of the server. It's really that easy. And again, it's not to take anything away from 5Power. You know, they had individuals shine. Saw great games from Cabal, saw great games from Dobu as well. So, like, fair play to them. Like, they played a solid game. But from VP's side, you're expecting a lot more.
I mean, you are, but I mean, you did see some flashiness of individual performance there from the side of 5Power. What are some of the players you guys could take note of here from 5Power at this tournament going forward?
I mean, it would be like the two Mongolians and Dobu and Cabal. Yep. I think they both had a good showing throughout the series. I think I would have liked to see more out of Schwadepai. Like, his second half really in this last map was pretty much atrocious. He got 2 frags in the last 17 rounds or so. Didn't really come up with a big contribution. I think QK has shown himself as a pretty proficient opera as well, which is fun. So they do have building blocks in that sense going forward, and I think that's something that they can feel positive about. But yeah, no, they still have to expand their arsenal when it comes to, you know, T-side strategies, that kind of stuff, and actually being able to adapt their playstyle a little bit once they get punished for the one thing they've been able to you know, bring to the table, really, because that's when you see they're struggling, like how they fall so far behind pretty much in this game as well. Like, they don't know how to adapt properly, but that comes with time. So
it's
you know,
true.
have to give them that.
I can never leave a homie hanging, so
just give them the dab.
There we go. There you go, man.
There.
See you.
He's wanting more.
That's all I got for the time being. Now, perhaps this is a 5Power that we've seen coming here. They weren't hugely favorited, but Chad noted it many times during the broadcast. This is a team Virtus.pro struggling against, and they're not even all on the same page remotely.
Nah, again, it looks like a mess, to be completely honest with you. I'm a little bit disappointed in the showing that VP come with here. I feel, again, like we talked about a lot, you know, but it's the same over and over again. I feel like I'm repeating myself because we have expectations to a team that honestly we shouldn't have any expectations to. So we're doing it to ourselves in that sense. We should just, you know, accept the fate and, you know, accept that they're not good anymore. And then, you know, let's see if they can become good again. I'm disappointed, honestly. I feel it's one of those games where they should be able to run them over, and I feel 5Power, again, without being disrespectful, it's not a team that you should struggle against if you are a top team from Europe. Not at all. One of the few lightning points from this one was Pasha. He was having a decent game. So was Bialy on the leather map here as well. And those are the two building blocks you want to play. Those are the two best players from Virtus.pro. When it's going good for them, it's good. On a disappointing side, Mihu didn't have the best game for him, and I just hope, you know, because I felt like he was one of the brightest star from that region, basically. He could join VP and make them good again, I felt. But if he's going to go to VP and he's going to get ruined and his career is going to go on a down path from here, then that's going to be a problem for me, because I feel that's VP ruining him. Because he has the talent to be a good player, and he has the talent to be on a way better team than VP. But if he's in this team and he's not being able to perform, I wouldn't necessarily blame it on him.
Yeah.
More like the surroundings he's in right now.
I mean, it's sort of like activating him within that team environment, which is Virtus.pro.
It's basically not fair to a player like
Yeah.
that. Like, it's not fair when you're that good and you have that much skill and that much talent. You like to be in a place like that.
Well, even on this last map, obviously in the first map of the series, we didn't necessarily see Morals activated, as we were saying, or put in, putting himself in those advantageous situations. But Cash was a totally different story for the guy.
Yeah, did much better, and again, had multiple big rounds for them. You know, to talk about pistol rounds, all that kind of stuff, setting VP on the right path to get back into it. And I think he was a vital player in the second half for them to get through it all, the fire and the flames, really. So yeah, no, there's definitely a promising showing. But again, it's too far in between, you know, from when you have those kind of performances from his side. Like, more of the time he's hanging out at the bottom of the scoreboard.
Yeah.
And it's not obviously like stats tell the whole story by any means, but you can just tell by the way he's playing that he's not necessarily comfortable with what's going on. Even in this game where he's actually, you know, he's fragging out and doing well for himself, you can tell like multiple times in checkers, he's just jumping the gun a little bit too early, not doing by the book plays.
By the book, textbook stuff. And this, we don't want to say this is one of those situations where Morals could be stuck in limbo. But it could very well be that case. However, that is not who we're going to hear from right now. We're going to hear from Pasha Biceps again. And boy, oh boy, can I not wait. Matt, tell us what we got down there, man.
Thank you, Stunner. Yeah, I can't wait to talk to you, Pasha, because we were nearly going to wave you off on your big walk all the way back to Poland, which I still think has to be made. But instead, we'll see you a little bit longer here today. But Inferno, talk us through how 12-3 ended up being very nearly a map to 5Power.
If not Bialy in the last round, it was a very lucky round, to be honest. They deserve for overtime, and in overtime we can see who is better on this map. So Bialy take it on him. So throw Molotov and just luck, nothing else. I said to him, Bialy, you've got more Molotov, you can do something. And Bialy, really? Yeah, and then he throw Molotov. So thank you me everything.
You were saying before that game started that on any day a team can beat another team. That's just how you think Counter-Strike is at the moment. Between you and Bialy, you had more kills than all of 5Power at half-time on that first map. So how did it feel? Is it just ticked against you that they were coming back into it?
To be honest, we play a lot. This is the first event when we, after Snacks leave our boat, we try play a lot individually and as a team. We practice like 5-6 maps per day and individually like deathmatch playing with bots. So right now it's, I think for me and Bialy really hard work pays off.
Yeah.
My English is not
Your English is great, Pasha. Don't even worry. Yeah, hard work pays off. Yeah.
Not enough for that word already, but I try. Yeah.
I talked to you earlier on about Morels, and you were saying you're going to build him up to be a man, and he can walk your dog, and all of that sort of thing. Seems like that's happened because he's turned up today in a completely different way than yesterday.
Yeah, especially on Cash, he showed few very nice skill action, but on the one round he have a like mood on the mouse pad, and it was very funny. Probably one of the most fails I ever seen. The guy coming with the hand because he was blind and smoking on the Morel, and the enemy don't know where he is. Morel just try to spray. Don't know. It was crazy. You need to see this. This will be a very nice fail. Yeah.
You've got Hellraisers again, except this time it's the other side of the bracket. Do or die. Winner goes to ChinaJoy. Loser walks back to wherever they want to walk back to. How are you going to get it over Hellraisers?
Probably they already sleeping, still sleeping. They dreaming about playoffs, but I hope so. We just cut them their dreams, and we're gonna win this revenge. And I hope so. It will be a very nice match, and this time it should be this match going to us.
We'll find out later on. You're through. Congratulations. We'll see you against Hellraisers later on in our decider match at the end of today.
I'm trying to wrap my head around what he just said. It was a little rough around the edges there, but Pasha Biceps obviously with a little bit of a sigh of relief. And of course, going forward, he should have that sigh of relief. I think this is what we're going to do. We do have just a little bit of time here where I can give you guys just a little bit of room to kind of run it how you will. So, Vendetta, we'll start with you. Give me some closing thoughts on this matchup.
Again, you know, positive surprise, I guess, from 5Power in terms of what we saw on the individual level. That's always fun to see more talent coming out of the Asian region. Again, worries still just lay within VP from start to finish, and I think we might see the end of their tournament later today.
Bialy, Pasha, definitely the two positive points for VP this one around. Mihu, a little bit disappointing in them, and I would say that, yeah, you're probably right. If Mihu and Pasha and Bialy doesn't step up all at the same time, VP is going to get banged out of server by Hellraisers.
Wow, it's so eloquent when you say those. Banged out. Now, that could very well be the case, but we do have another best of 3 coming your way. It's going to be an elimination matchup. It's going to be Greyhound. It's going to be Gambit. You don't want to miss this, Junk. I'm telling you right now, you better be here when we come back, or we'll get pimp on you. We'll be right back.
All eyes are on you, so give them greatness